Hello, my name is Mr. Casey. Today we are studying Unit 7, More Than a Game. The story is called Play Ball, and we're going to be talking about expressing opinions. So let's begin. In today's lesson, we're going to understand first how other people express opinions in speaking and in writing. Then we're going to learn how to use complete sentences to make your writing easier to understand. Then we're going to learn more detail and practice expressing opinions in your own writing. Then we will review how text structure and chronological order make your writing better. Let's begin. First, last time we talked about using context clues to understand words with multiple meanings. On this page, you see 4 words that are underlined, and they have different meanings, many different meanings. So, for example, the first word is fans. Okay? The story is about baseball. So, are we talking about a fan, this kind of fan? No. This one, the word fans here, is a noun that means people who have a strong interest or admiration for a particular person or thing. In sports, the word fan comes from the longer word fanatic, someone who is crazy about something. So if I am a fan of Saigon FC, then I love all of their games and I watch as many as I can. The next word is beats. Again, this word has many meanings. Beats. This one, we're talking about beats of an instrument or rhythmical sounds made by striking a drum. Boom, 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 boom is this version of beats. The next word is runs. This one is not talking about to go for a run, not the verb. This one is a noun about baseball. Points scored when a base runner reaches the home plate after touching the other bases. Now, you may not understand the rules of baseball, but you can read by context that this is not about run, the verb. This is a noun. The fourth one is pitch. Last time we talked about baseball and we talked about pitch, to throw the ball. That's not what the word means here. This is a different context and a different meaning. In this form, the pitch is the level of intensity or excitement of something. Okay? Now, let's move on to today's lesson. Today, we're talking about the story Play Ball and how to understand and express opinions. So the first thing we should ask ourselves is, what is an opinion? An opinion is a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. If I ask you, what is your opinion? I'm asking, what do you think? What do you think about Saigon? I love Saigon. I think it's a wonderful city. Does everyone feel the same? Maybe no. Maybe you have a different opinion. Next, why are opinions important in writing and speaking? And the answer is they allow us to understand or communicate and share ideas with other people. You know that I love Saigon, the city. Okay, so it allows me to communicate my ideas to you, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. First, we're going to read, okay, and understand how we express opinions in written form. So what I want you to do first is read what the sports announcers say in this narrative called Sports Talk and answer these 3 questions. Number 1, what are they waiting for? Number 2, what is their opinion of Ron Dasher? And number 3, what is their opinion of the game that they are watching? So take 2 minutes, pause the video, and answer these 3 questions. Ready? Number 1, what are they waiting for? Okay, so what they're waiting for, we're still waiting for Ron Dasher to amaze us. Okay, Ron Dasher maybe is supposed to be a really good baseball player, but they're still waiting for him to amaze us. So number 2, what is their opinion of Ron Dasher. Uh-oh, I don't think he's as good as people say he is. This is their opinion. I don't think. Okay, he's as good as people say. Now, what about their opinion of the game? It's a surprise. This game is quite a surprise. The home team was expected to win easily. How do we know this is their opinion? Because they say right here, in my opinion, this game is quite a surprise. So we know that this is what they're talking about. Okay, next we're going to talk about using complete sentences. Now, how do we form a complete sentence? A complete sentence expresses a complete thought. It needs to have two things. It needs to have a subject and a predicate. Okay, so what are those two things? First, the subject is whom or what the sentence is about. Often the subject is a noun, and often the subject is at the beginning of the sentence. That makes it easier for you to understand. So let's look at our two examples here. The pitcher winds up and throws the ball towards first base. So the subject is the pitcher. That tells us the who or the what. The next one is the ball bounces past first base and rolls into the outfield. So the subject is the ball. Okay? So we know that the ball is the what that we're talking about. And then the rest of the sentence tells us what the ball will do. The second part of the sentence is the predicate. The predicate often tells what the subject does. The most important word in the predicate is the verb. We always need to have a verb to have a complete sentence. So here's two more examples. The coach walks out to the pitcher's mound. So the predicate is walks out to the pitcher's mound. What's the subject? The coach. Okay. The next sentence is the umpire dusts the plate. So the predicate is dusts the plate. The verb is dusts, and the whole predicate is dusts the plate. Who does it? The umpire. This is a complete sentence. A simple sentence has one subject and one predicate. Most statements, the subject comes before the verb. You can have a complex sentence or a compound sentence that has multiple subjects and multiple predicates. But here, a simple subject sentence has one subject, one predicate. That keeps it simple. Now, mixing short but complete simple sentences with longer sentences is very effective. Short sentences speed reading. They also help with comprehension. In writing and speaking, it's better to mix short sentences and long sentences together to make it easier to understand what you are trying to communicate. If you use lots of very, very short, simple sentences together, it's very hard to understand. And if you use lots of long and complex sentences, it's hard to understand. So it's better to mix them together. Here's two examples. The next batter misses the ball. The subject is the next batter. The predicate misses the ball. The other example, the umpire, this is the who or what, is the umpire. And what does he do? He yells, strike one. Okay. So let's practice this. Here's 4 different sentences that are mixed up. What I want you to do is pause the video for 2 minutes and put the words together in order to make a complete sentence that has the right sentence structure, subject and predicate. Go ahead and pause the video for 2 minutes and do that now. Ready? Here's number 1. We play baseball every Saturday. Number 2. My dad comes to every game. Number 3, my bat broke into many pieces. And number 4, I had to use a different bat. Okay, so those are the complete sentences, but let's go back and look. What is the subject and what is the predicate? How do we know that these are complete sentences? Number 1, what's the subject? We. We are the subject. What do? We play baseball every Saturday. This is the predicate. Next sentence, number 2. What's the subject? The subject is my dad. What does my dad do? He comes to every game. This is the predicate. Number 3, the subject is my bat. Okay, so the bat is the subject. What does the bat do, or what did it do? It broke into many pieces. This is the predicate. And number 4, what's the subject? I. So what did I do? I had to use a different bat. This is the predicate. I is the subject. So those are complete sentences using a subject and a predicate together. Okay, next, expressing opinions. So everyone has opinions. The sportscasters had some. We read about that. Those opinions were about a baseball team and its players. We know that baseball is a popular sport, but is it the most popular sport with students your age? What's your opinion? Okay, is baseball the most popular sport with students your age? Here's one example. Okay, and in this example, we use 2 things. We use the opinion and we use the reasons. So, in my opinion, soccer is more popular than baseball. The reason I think that is because every school in town has a soccer team, but not all have a baseball team. So we have the opinion, and then we have the reasons why. Okay, and their opinion is different from the sportscasters. Now, one very important note to remember. An opinion expresses your view or judgment about something. That was the definition. But if you say, I like soccer because I like it, that is not an opinion. An opinion needs to have reasons to explain your ideas or view. So, now it's your turn. Express your opinion about the most popular sport with your peers or students your age. Write down your opinions and your reasons why. Again, take 5 minutes, pause the video, and write down your opinion about the most popular sport with students your age. Okay, here's an example that I wrote for you, and you can see what you think of my opinion about the most popular sport with students your age. In my opinion, badminton is much more popular in Vietnam than other sports. I think the climate in Vietnam is too hot for many outdoor sports, and there is not enough land for many baseball fields or soccer pitches. I believe that badminton is easy for people of all ages to learn and brings lots of families and friends together. So, did I express my opinion and give reasons? Yes, my opinion is that badminton is much more popular. And did I give reasons why? Yes, Vietnam is too hot and there's not enough land. And also, badminton brings lots of people together and it's easy to learn. So I gave many reasons why I think badminton is more popular than soccer or baseball. Let's talk about this a little more. How do we express our opinions? So we tell what you think about something using words like I think, I believe, and in my opinion. Then we know that we're expressing opinions. You give reasons for your opinion and details to explain why you feel like you do. Okay, again, to say, I love baseball because I love baseball is not an opinion. If you share an opinion with someone else, you say, I agree with you about badminton. Or you could say, if you have a different opinion, you say, I disagree with you about badminton because I think soccer is more popular. And then you give reasons why. Also, when we're expressing opinions, it's important to use complete sentences, like we talked about earlier. When you express your opinions, put your thoughts and ideas into complete sentences. This helps others better understand what you want them to know. Make sure each sentence has a subject and a predicate. Here's another example. In my opinion, baseball is the most important sport. So, we know that we're talking about an opinion, expressing opinion, by starting with in my opinion. Then we have the subject, basketball. Then we have the predicate, is the most important sport. So, do we understand what the opinion is and that we're giving an opinion from this simple, complete sentence? Yes. Now, your turn. Okay, I want you to express your opinion about the best video game to play. Remember to give reasons why and use complete sentences. So, pause the video for 5 minutes and in your notebook, write down your opinion about the best video game to play. So we need your opinion, the reasons why, and to use complete sentences. Take 5 minutes and do that now. Here we go. So I have written my opinion about what I think the best video game is to play. So I will show you my opinion, and you can tell me what you think. I feel that the best video games are ones that help us be creative and build worlds, both in our minds and online. Games help us to relax and escape our stressful lives, but they can also help us to grow. That is why I think Minecraft is the best video game for students to play today. Now, did I give you my opinion? Yes. What is my opinion? My opinion is that Minecraft is the best video game for students to play. Did I give you reasons why? Yes. They help us be creative and build worlds in our minds and online. They help us to relax and escape our stressful lives, and help us to grow. Those are all reasons why. Okay. Did I use complete sentences? Yes, I used short sentences and long sentences. How did I express my opinion differently than when we practiced before? If you look at what I did, instead of putting the opinion first, I put the opinion at the end. So I gave the reasons why, and then I gave the opinion. You can structure your paragraph or your opinion in many different ways. Okay, last week we talked about chronological order. Let's say that word one more time. Chronological. One more time. Chronological. Good. So chronological is an adjective to describe a record of events, starting with the earliest and following in the order in which the events occurred. Okay? We usually use this to tell the history of something. So, in text structure, writing is organized, okay, by using chronological order. Most writing about events in history is organized by chronological order, or the order in which events happened. History articles and texts are often divided into sections. Each section gives information about specific events or time periods and shows how they relate to other events or history as a whole. Dates and time order words help to organize this sequence. So if you see now, then, after, or first, then, later, or you see a date, those are all time order words, and they give you a clue as to the chronological order of events. As you read the passage, look for time order words to help you identify the sequence. And here's a definition of sequence. Okay? Sequence is the events in the order in which things happen. So how do we do this in writing? Okay, let's look at this text. This text is called War Games. What I want you to do is pause the video for 3 minutes. Read the short historical text called War Games and list the events in sequence or chronological order. Okay, so what happened first? The first thing that happened is the United States fought itself in a civil war. Next, soldiers played baseball whenever they could. Sometimes the prisoners played against their captors. Then, after that, the Civil War ended and the first professional league was created. And last, in 1876, the first teams became the National League. Now, are there time order words that give us clues in the context about the chronological order or sequence of events? Yes. In 1861, okay. Sometimes a few years after, in 1876. These are all clues that give us the order of events. Okay. So there's another way that we can do this. If we look at this same text about war games, we can use a timeline instead of listing them like I did on the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can use a timeline. How do we do this? A timeline shows the most important events by date, and it provides an overview of history. The timeline shows an event. Okay, we reread the passage above and add to the timeline. Here is an example. So we could use a timeline to do the same exercise we just did for war games. So the first event that happened in 1861, time order word, the Civil War begins, both sides play baseball. So here's your homework for this week. Okay. Over here is an example again of making complete sentences using a subject and a predicate. So put these in order to make complete sentences. We talked about expressing your opinion. So express your opinion about the best thing about living in Vietnam. Write your answer in your notebook. Again, your opinion needs to have reasons why, and it needs to use complete sentences. So don't forget all three of those things. Your opinion about the best thing about living in Vietnam. Then third, we already did a timeline for the events in the historical text War Games, and I did it 1, 2, 3, 4 in sequence. I want you to do it in a timeline. Okay, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.